Hey.
Good afternoon and welcome to FLX Weekly. I'm Josh Durso, joined in studio with Jim Sinacropi and Jess Miuticone.
Hey.
That was shaky.
I caught you off guard because I said I would host it, and then I kicked it over to you.
That's okay, though. We managed. Winter Storm Stella is here, and it is starting to move away.
Winter Storm Stella is here, but
Jessica
Lahr is not here.
I know.
It's the first edition of FLX Weekly with Jessica Lahr without Jessica Lahr.
It's without Jessica. It's not the same, but there's a good reason why she isn't here, obviously. Winter Storm Stella has made life miserable for everybody.
Yep. Travel is difficult.
How have you guys been dealing with this nightmare?
Hey, look, this isn't my first rodeo.
Right.
You know, I've lived here my whole life, and when I didn't live here, I lived in Syracuse. So this is just an inconvenience.
Just another day.
Yeah. And the thing is like if you have to drive out of town, that's difficult. You shouldn't do that. But I don't see why people have trouble getting around town.
Yeah.
Unless you have a car that's particularly bad in snow.
Yeah.
It's But the main inconvenience is the shoveling, the constant shoveling, and
that's the big thing. It seems like as soon as you clear it out, an hour and a half later, you're buried again.
Yeah, and then at some point you have to sleep.
Yeah.
And then when you sleep, that's a good, 6 to 8 hours of snow accumulation.
And then the wind starts blowing, and everything you did is just covered.
Destroyed.
Yeah. So, but it won't last forever. It's already almost the end of March.
Yep.
So, how has this storm impacted the region, Josh?
So, there have been obviously tons of closings and delays throughout the whole region. Cayuga, Ontario, Monroe, Wayne, and Yates County all have active no unnecessary travel advisories. They're running through today and into tomorrow morning. They all expire between 5 in the morning tomorrow and 10 in the morning. Seneca and Tompkins County closed roads yesterday.
At 5, yeah.
At 5 and 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
They remained closed through the night so crews could kind of try and catch up because they were way behind.
Tom Cruise is out there?
Yeah, that's what they were doing. Everything reopened this morning. Travel advisories remain. No end in sight for those, probably tomorrow morning like the others. Ontario County, over 30 accidents reported. 2 rollovers, 13 cars in a ditch, 4 accidents with injuries, 11 property damage accidents, 20 or so accidents reported in Cayuga County. The governor issued the state of emergency on, Monday afternoon, I believe, before we went live with a winter storm update. And it was as if, he said it, but I think at that point everyone was still thinking in the back of their mind, maybe this will be like the other winter storms that we've had this year, the last 2, which really didn't deliver, but it delivered. No tractor-trailer traffic allowed on the New York State Thruway or any of the major corridors really in New York State right now. They're sort of that's where we are now. The interesting thing right now, actually, though, is the snowfall totals that have been coming in. So some of the numbers, and these were as of mostly 8 o'clock this morning. So they were expecting...
And it's been snowing since.
Right, and the forecasters were saying on top of these numbers, another 6 to 8 inches, depending on where you live. Auburn, 21 inches. Montour Falls, down in Schuyler County, 12.3. Caroline, down in Tompkins, 24.8 inches. Now, right in Tompkins County, if you just backtrack to Ithaca, 14.9 inches. So serious discrepancies depending on where you live, what your elevation is, and all of those cool factors. Rochester, they were sitting at 22 inches this morning. Just saw a tweet from Scotty Hetzko with 13 Wham. He said they may wind up with about 30 inches when the storm is all said and done. And then when you get up towards the lake, which they have not just the storm to contend with, but like up in Wayne County, Macedon, Walworth, Williamson, they have the lake effect machine that's going to kick in right behind it. They were at 18, 13, and 11 inches respectively this morning. They will probably exceed 20 inches when all is said and done.
We got 20 inches here in Seneca Falls, probably.
Easily.
Yeah. What's the total here?
I could not find an official read from the National Weather Service, but just eyeballing it and gauging it from, the rookie's point of view, I would say we're sitting around 20 inches. We're probably in that 20 to 22 range at this point, but time will tell with those numbers. As far as the forecast goes for the rest of today, it does look like the lake machine will slow down as the evening gets near. The winds will start to die down, and maybe everyone can kind of start to get back into a normal rhythm. Maybe. Hopefully by tomorrow it's a little better. Obviously, we have all of the information on fingerlakes1.com. We really, I don't want to toot our own horn, but I'm going to, because we really hit this one out of the park. We had live update with Drew Montrell, FLX weather meteorologist, on Monday, intense storm coverage on Tuesday, and then a really comprehensive closing list that we don't normally do, but may in special circumstances like this storm obviously was in the future. But yeah, it's been some of the pictures, I think, were the more interesting thing to see. There was a just in the middle portion of Seneca County, there was a plow that tipped over yesterday.
Yeah.
And it came shortly before, I haven't confirmed this, but it came shortly before the travel ban happened. So I'm going to assume that that was kind of the warning shot for Sheriff Luce, and he kind of aggressively jumped on it and said, okay.
That's a plow on its side.
Yeah.
Now, you're not a very good snow plow truck driver if that's what your truck looks like. I mean, those things are made to work in the snow. And
looks like you might have cut the corner a little too close and fell into one of those really deep ditches that we see. That's at the corner of Route 96 and Yellow Tavern Road, right in Seneca County, in between Fayette and Waterloo.
I know exactly where that is.
Yep. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that people were contending with yesterday. And I said a little while ago that I actually thought the roads were in worse condition today, this afternoon, than they were yesterday. Now, obviously, more snow has fallen, the wind's more of a factor now, but it almost seemed like when the crews kind of slowed down last night, because I know they reduced forces overnight, that they kind of got behind. I would assume that in an event like this, where you're talking about 48 hours, because that's essentially what they were doing, you only have so many plow operators, and you only have so many bodies that you can deploy for, eventually they have to sleep.
Okay.
Although I suppose maybe they could just work 40 straight hours.
That's plow tipping talk right there.
I mean, but yeah, that's the good news is I think that the weather is going to sort of get a little quieter as we get towards the weekend.
Yeah, I can tell you all about that, actually. Start with Thursday. Chance of snow showers, mostly cloudy, high near 28, so it's not going to get above freezing yet. Blustery, northwest wind of 16 to 20, so the storm's going to be passed, but it's still going to not be good.
Yeah.
Friday, partly sunny, high near 37, so there you go. It's over on Friday. When it gets up to 37, everything starts to melt. Obviously, if you know anything about science, water freezes at 32. Saturday, rain and snow likely, possibly mixed with sleet.
Nice.
And then just a chance of rain in afternoon, cloudy with a high near 38, chance of precipitation 60%, so things are going to get sloppy.
At this point, that's what we need. We need some rain.
Well, more. Look, when this snow melts, that's going to...
Oh, yeah.
It's good. We're going to might have some flooding.
It's entirely possible.
Sunday, chance of snow showers, mostly cloudy with a high near 31. And then Monday, partly sunny, high near 37. So I'm not going to look beyond that.
Amen.
But there is relief in sight, although this weekend does look kind of crappy. But 37 degrees is just what the doctor ordered after a winter storm like this.
Stay inside and watch basketball.
Yep, NCAA basketball, or listen to the South Seneca Lady Falcons in the Final Four this weekend, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But obviously, in addition to the coverage on the front page, click on the local weather center, look at the radar, look at the forecast, do all the things that you want to do there.
Also, check out FLXweather.com. I feel like we've been plugging Drew Montrell on a loop for the last week now, but really for Finger Lake-specific forecasting, it doesn't get any better than that. So
it's comprehensive.
Yeah.
Yep, they're in their weather center.
Yep.
And you're all set.
So
I always thought it would be a good idea. Something you might want to think about doing is aggregating all the forecasters. there's so many meteorologists around in Syracuse, Rochester, Ithaca. And Drew, why not have some sort of aggregate chart with all their forecasts at all times? That would be useful to our users. And
it would be really interesting to see sort of who falls where, what
and
the expectations are.
Then grade them all and award someone with a trophy at the end of the year.
Like we do with our photos.
Yeah, we have to consult the graphics department. Get another ribbon made up.
I'm sure we can make that happen.
I think so, too.
It would be interesting. I mean, that was one of the big issues, I feel like, coming into this storm, was that people had this in the back of their mind. It isn't going to happen, or it's not going to be as severe as what they're talking about.
We've been burned before, Josh.
Yeah, and it's that hype, I feel like, that people see a lot of times on, like, you watch the Weather Channel, you watch some of the national news coverage, and
this is worse, though. Although we were pretty much, once Drew said this was happening, I was in. He's a no-hype guy.
Yeah.
So once he was saying that this is happening, I was in. But it's been more snow than most anticipated.
Yeah, and I would also say that we may have gotten a lot of snow here in the Finger Lakes, but we did not get nearly what they got down in like Broome County around Binghamton. They've been calling that the epicenter of the storm.
That's where all the snow bands were at their heaviest.
I mean, over 30 inches in less than 24 hours. That's a lot of snow.
Sure is.
It's fun though sometimes too. Why not?
It's fun. What do you do when you're in that? Like last night, so they say no travel. You're banned from traveling. That's it. By the way, that's something that I find a little bit strange.
I'm a grown ass man, so if I need to go somewhere, I'm going to go.
Right, exactly. What happens when you go out and you travel? Well, I guess you can get a ticket. But I would like to also know what the full list of consequences are.
Well, let's say this.
If you're a repeat offender?
Let's say that you worked at a place and they said, I don't care if there's a travel ban, you're driving here. And then you drive there and you get into an accident and you're killed.
Yeah.
The owner of that, your boss, would be probably liable.
Yeah. Yeah. Hospital workers.
And I'm not a big city lawyer or anything.
Yeah.
But it seems to me that might be a possible repercussion.
Seems logical.
But for the individual...
But what do you do? What do you do when you're just stuck inside and you have nothing else to do? What did you guys do last night when everything just went to a standstill?
I cooked dinner, I shoveled, and I was on the computer. I watched some television.
Yeah. I actually went out to rock and roll band practice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I have no problem. I'm a lawbreaker.
I like it.
The one problem I had was that there's not much in the house for dinner because nobody went to the store because of the travel ban. And, I maybe could have ordered a pizza or something, but can they deliver? During winter storms, that's when pizzeria deliveries really
We were looking...
do well.
Connie was looking on social media last night, and she said that Avicoli's here in Seneca Falls was delivering last night, despite the fact that there was the travel ban.
Good
so I guess, hey, make hay while you can. You're going to make money like nobody else is in that scenario.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had to make a dinner out of things that were already on hand.
Creamed eels.
Yeah. Yep. So anyways, yeah, that's what I did. But a lot of shoveling, like every 3 hours probably, headed out there.
Yep.
We watched Moana for the 4th time in 3 days. My kids are hooked on Moana.
The 4th time in 3 days.
Yeah.
Are they reciting lines yet?
Yep. Singing songs. Great soundtrack.
Oh, okay. Well, speaking of soundtracks, what's the soundtrack to this weekend? What events do we have going on this weekend?
It's kind of it's pretty slow, I'll say. It's pretty slow out there. There are some bigger events at the casino, obviously, as there will be probably every weekend going forward here. And it is, I think, St. Patrick's Day this weekend being celebrated in a lot of places, I see. And to that end, Enter the Haggis is at Del Lago. Now, there's a rocking Celtic rock and roll band.
The Haggis.
Long time forerunners of the Celtic rock movement. So Enter the Haggis is out there. I believe there are still tickets available for that, actually. And that's on Friday. And on Saturday out at the casino, there is a famous comedian, Grammy-nominated comedian, Bill Engvall is out there.
Still tickets available for that one, I believe, yeah?
Yep. You may know him as he was a recent contestant on ABC's Dancing with the Stars.
Yes.
So, if you like comedians or guys who are on Dancing with the Stars or both,
Yep.
that's the show for you, and that's on Saturday. Now, this is where things start to trail off.
Uh-oh.
There's not much going on this weekend, but I guess it's seasonal. It is March Maple Family Weekend out at this is at the Watson Homestead in Painted Post.
Oh,
Get out
wow.
there. Take the trip to Painted Post.
Hope the weather improves before anybody makes that journey.
No, well, listen. If you're close to Painted Post, this is a great. A great go.
Can't date what's not quite as far.
Right.
If you live in Hammondsport, it's right down the road.
This is great. Now listen to this. Have you always wondered where real maple syrup comes from?
Sometimes.
I have not, because I know where it comes from.
Tree.
Yep. Have you sugared in the past and wish to share this special tradition with your children?
Def Leppard style?
Yes. Do you choose pure maple syrup over log cabin? Copyright Pinnacle Foods Group, LLC.
Yeah.
Then bring your family and join us in peaceful and relaxing setting of Watson Homestead for an opportunity to immerse yourself in the process of maple sugaring. Have you ever done that? I have.
Never.
I've collected sap from trees into buckets, brought it into a big boiling vat room, poured it in the thing, and boiled it down, and made maple syrup and enjoyed it immediately. Also done shots of it right out of the vat.
That'd be really sweet, really
Where's
intense.
Watson Homestead?
In Painted Post.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot we're still talking about that same event.
That is the same event. And that's really all that's going on. That is like the hottest event going.
Okay. I mean, that's the most interactive, I feel like, other than going to a show and just sitting down. That was one thing I was wondering. Yesterday, that travel ban comes down. I'm wondering, are there people still out at Del Lago just hanging out?
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
I mean, it's not the
time.
worst
It's a
place.
good
Not
time
the
to be
worst
inside.
place
If
to
you're
be
going to be stuck
there.
inside,
Yeah.
why not? You have all your needs met right there.
Yeah.
There are like hundreds and hundreds of St. Patrick's themed events going on this weekend. So any of your local establishments is rocking one of those. Enjoy.
All right. So what else have we got going on? Do we want to get to photos yet, or do we
Yeah,
want to
let's
hold
do
off?
the photos. Remember,
Photos?
pay attention. Pick your favorite.
Yep.
I'm on it.
We'll vote at the end now. We were off last week because Jessica was on a Pitbull cruise.
Yep.
And so we
have 2 weeks of photos here to get
but
through.
I also didn't pick every single photo. But let's go. Here we go. Photos.
Cream of the crop.
Starting out with Rachel Burkholder. This is from last Monday on Seneca Lake at the park. Hazy sun and warm temperatures provided a spring-like day. That's Rachel Burkholder
I would love
right
to
there.
see a contrast to what that looks like right now.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's that one. More from Rachel Burkholder.
A nice one, Rachel.
Golden sun sinking in Romulus after another beautiful day. Again, this is
Clearly not recent.
better times
Yeah.
weather-wise. And
days.
here we go again. Now it's starting to cool off. The light snow and frigid weather brought a change of scenery in the Finger Lakes. A shot of the Ithaca Falls on Saturday afternoon by Rachel Burkholder. And then here's one from Stu Crandall.
Yeah, I love this photo.
A sunset over Van Cleef Lake in Seneca Falls.
It's a great one, Stu. Best one yet. I commented on Facebook.
And that's the best sunset photo by Stu, or best of all those ones you've
Best
shown
one
so
that
far?
I've seen Stu post.
Gotcha. Okay, next. A plane streaking across the nighttime sky over Waterloo last Sunday night. That's Justin Shaw, and I think he enhanced it.
He did. Well, it's a long exposure. That there.
Pretty cool.
Very cool.
Monday morning along Canandaigua City Pier, this gull appears to be standing on the water, which is actually the last thin layer of ice left. I bet you that's bad.
Plenty of ice now.
That's Mike Sargent, and it's also one of those taller ones that it is wide, so the full one, you can really see his reflection.
He really takes some serious bird photos.
He was frozen there and stuck, and he perished.
Well, I'm partial to bird photos.
I enjoy it.
Here we go. Soda Central School presenting its annual musical last weekend. The Pirates of Penzance was performed on the 10th and 11th at Soda's Senior High Auditorium. Drianna Bennett, a junior, is seen performing as the Pirate King. And that
she is.
photo is by Jim Miranda. And the guy on the right is he's just acting his butt off.
He sure is. That much like Shakespeare in Love, where a woman played a man in the lead role.
Why not?
So, Wednesday's high winds. Remember that was the issue.
Yeah.
Like not too long ago was the high winds. It canceled everything, caused all that damage in Rochester. So, anyways, Wednesday's high winds off of Lake Ontario offered a continuous pounding of the waves at Sodas Point. Photo by the Chris Trine.
Like that one.
Awesome stuff.
And Shelley Lannon, not to be outdone by Mike Sargent, has woodpeckers in her backyard, and this male Downy was waiting for his turn on the suet.
That
Look at
could be
that
a
guy.
pun, waiting on his turn, like the bird, the turn.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like a lady friend of his.
A bird
He's
pun.
waiting on it.
I like it.
And now we get into some Stella photos. This was early on in the storm. This flamingo probably wishes he was in Florida. Photo by Kitty Peterson.
Good job,
and
Kitty.
And there's a lot more snow now than when that one was sent in on Monday or Tuesday morning, maybe. I don't know, whenever it was. After the high winds died down, there were some interesting ice formations near the Sodas Lighthouse on Sunday. And that's by Rachel Burkholder, and that's pretty neat.
She's all over the place, that Rachel.
Yeah. But look at that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's almost like a work of art that was purposely constructed.
Yeah.
This morning, as the snow began to pick up in Mike Sargent's Farmington backyard, this female cardinal seems confused about the change in the weather.
It's just snow, Cardinal.
Yeah. I don't know why he's so confused. He does look confused, too.
It's a female.
She.
Yeah, the males are red. Females are what you see
Oh my
there.
gosh, you've seen enough bird photos to know that.
Unfortunately, I have not. Which means you have to keep sending them in.
So that's the photos. What's our favorite? Ooh.
So my favorite has to be the picture of up in Sodas, Lake Ontario.
The lighthouse.
The lighthouse, the
With
wind.
the waves
just
breaking.
Yeah.
Yep.
The
Yeah.
Chris Trine.
Yeah, the Chris Trine
Jobber?
photo.
I gotta go vote for my friend Stu Crandall. So I like that photo.
Oh, man. I was going to vote for Mike Sargent's Cardinal because, as I said, I'm partial to the bird
Three-way
photos.
tie?
A three-way tie. Do we have no clear
We
winner?
have to break it. We have to break it. You know what? If Jessica Lahr is at home listening in her winter wonderland in Geneva, guess what? She's already on it.
Yeah, what's she voting?
She likes Rachel's ice photo.
Oh,
I see a man
no.
and a woman in it. It's amazing. I think she should override
Her
our votes
vote
because it's
matters.
remotely.
Yep.
Okay.
And her name's in the show. So, with that being said, your photo of the week. I think this is the second straight week that Rachel won it after being shut out previously.
Yeah.
Oh, she says that she sees a woman and a man in it. I see where she's looking too. See this to the left?
Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah,
middle left. Middle left. Yeah, they are
Wow.
weeping.
Yes.
Consoling each other. Or.
There's a lot going on in that picture.
Yeah, why not?
Good eye, Jessica.
Good job, Rachel Burkholder.
That's why your name's on the show.
Good job, Rachel Burkholder.
Yeah, and good job, Rachel.
Okay, so
Sorry, Stu.
What do we got going on FingerLakes1.com this weekend?
okay, so we're going to talk about a little bit of sports, and really the main thing that you got to know about sports is that the South Seneca Lady Falcons girls basketball team is off to the Final Four at Hudson Valley Community College in Troy, New York on Saturday, and then if they win again on Sunday, trying to defend their Class C state championship, which is amazing. It's amazing to think that South Seneca, the communities of Ovid and Interlaken, could win consecutive state titles. It's hard enough to even win consecutive sectional titles.
Right.
New York's a big state, so if they'll play against Port Jefferson first on Saturday, and I've done some research, and Port Jefferson's pretty good. They have a 2,000-point scorer, and but this is their first time appearing at this in the state Final Four in school history.
Experience is key.
That's a
If
big
South
stage.
Seneca wins, they play the winner of a private school on Long Island and Watkins Glen, where the Watkins Glen Lady Senecas are right next door on the south end of Seneca Lake is Watkins Glen. Now, if that matchup could happen, that's even
about
more
it.
incredible.
That's wow.
Playing for the championship, two teams that are that close together.
Now, if you want to follow the action, you don't need to wait till the next morning when the newspaper comes out. You can log on to Finger Lakes 1. We'll be live. We're going to have about a 45-minute pregame show on Saturday.
Live.
I'm going to be calling that game. And then after that, if they win on Sunday, we'll be there as well calling that game. And with a ton of support from the South Seneca Nation, South Seneca community, on the GoFundMe account that we put up to help us with our expenses of licensing fees and hotels and gas and all that stuff. And then great support from the business communities of Ovid and Interlaken. So 2:15 is tip on Saturday, pregame probably about 1:30. And you're gonna wanna listen in. You're gonna wanna listen in because it's a historic team that could be playing their last game, but at the most they're gonna have 2 more games, and they really, really are a great team. Great team. Just great. March Madness also starts obviously tomorrow and Friday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, NCAA tournament. I don't need to talk about that. Syracuse isn't playing in it. Instead, they're playing the NIT tonight. It was originally scheduled for last night. Now it's going to be tonight, although I don't see how things are that much better tonight.
I think they're worse.
That's what I wonder.
Carrier Dome, so we'll see. But with tournaments like these, you can't put it off too long because the next round's going to start. So, but they play Greensboro, UNC Greensboro. And Syracuse lacrosse is at Johns Hopkins on Saturday, 4 o'clock, and that's on ESPN3. And as the basketball season's ending, spring sports are kicking up. So, coming back another week or two, spring sports hit the field for local high schoolers. So
hard to believe because it doesn't feel like it right now. It doesn't feel like spring is even close.
Yeah, well, it is close. It's closer than you think. The Masters Golf Tournament is just 20 days away, I think, something like that.
That's right, first part of April.
Opening day of baseball season and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's it. I think that's pretty much our show for today.
It was a good one. We did what we could.
We did what we could without Jessica. We need Jessica back. She's going to be back next week.
We'd like to think.
We
who knows what kind of weather is going to blow in
next week.
Next Wednesday.
What exotic locations
nothing like Stella.
She'll be off at.
Yeah, what
boat?
She might be on a Snoop Doggy Dogg cruise.
Oh, wow. That would be different. Mm-hmm. I don't think that would be a cruise I'd want to go on.
Maybe not you.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah, we got another 40 seconds.
Yeah.
But
wow. All right. That's going to
Good job, though, on covering the winter storm. I mean, what a lot of people don't understand is that, or maybe they do, but when something like this happens, our traffic literally doubles.
Yeah.
Nothing turns them out like the weather.
Right. When traffic on the roads is at its all-time lowest, traffic on our site is at its all-time highest.
It's
a crazy paradox.
Yeah. Well, when people are just sitting and have nothing else to do, they're going to tune into us.
Well, I mean, the weather affects everybody, so this winter storm affects every single person that lives in the region or was visiting or has anything to do with going about their daily life here in the Finger Lakes. The weather like this impacts everybody. So,
your life, your homepage.
So that's why they come out. I'm glad they do.
Yep.
Super glad they do. So anyways, you brought it in, I'll bring it out. Thanks for joining us. Jessica will be back next week. If you'd like to drop us a line, send an email to contact@fingerlakes1.com. If you enjoy the show, click like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Do all those things you do when you like something.
Yeah.
And we'll be back next Wednesday. Hopefully some warmer weather on tap. So. Hopefully we'll be talking about the state champ South Seneca Lady Falcons or the state champ Watkins Glen Senecas. So for everybody, you guys, Jessica, everybody at Finger Lakes 1, have a good one.